Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Escape to the Country, where Jules and I are going to be highlighting the property gems of one county and helping two couples find their dream home.
We'll be throwing in our thoughts and reflections and offering some hints and tips on what it takes to move here.
Today's destination is known as the healthiest in the country, and we'll be letting you know where it is.
Dorset that makes it so attractive.
Not easy at all, because there's too many things to list. Beautiful coast, amazing landscape, no motorways, no cities, and of course incredible houses.
But they do come at a price. It's not the cheapest place in the country. Let's face it, your average detached is now, what, just over £320,000. So you do need some fairly deep pockets.
Yes, although I find those figures, particularly around Dorset, a bit misleading because you've got sandbanks, that completely weird pocket of super high valued properties in the southeast, and also things like Lyme Regis, beautiful but very, it skews the county profile a bit.
There's no doubt that the closer you are to the coast, the higher you are going to have to go in terms of what you want to spend. So my advice is always go inland. The coast is never far away, and you can get that bit more for your money, particularly if you get up towards Somerset.
And the great mass of the Dorset population live in their conurbation around Poole and Bournemouth, so that's going to be more pricey. And if you want the sort of Thomas Hardy look, then head for the hills.
Well, that's exactly what my buyers were looking for, and they came to Dorset with a seven-figure sum. More of that a little bit later.
Well, my couple didn't have quite that much money, but they were also looking for a rural retreat. Husband and wife Denise and Peter first laid eyes on each other at a bowling alley 4 decades ago and have spent a thrilling 32 years raising their family in this 4-bedroomed, semi-detached home in the busy commuter town of Epsom in Surrey. But now their 3 children are all grown up, they want to downsize, release some capital and realise a long-held desire.
I just want a change of environment. I've lived in this area all my life and I just want to be out in the countryside.
Not too far from the sea, so we could do coastal walks, and we just want to see, birds, animals, rather than traffic.
A self-employed building consultant, Peter has only recently decided to wind down professionally in order to fulfil the country dream.
It was one particularly horrible cold day in January or February, and I thought, that's enough.
With work on the back burner, they've set their sights on relocating to West Dorset.
We like the area. It's very uncommercialised, and we really would like to be in a rural setting.
Their current house is already on the market and they have approximate figures in mind for the proposed West Country venture.
The budget for our move is £325,000 up to a maximum of £375,000.
Peter and Denise have requested a location in the western portion of Dorset and near to the coast, but not necessarily right on it. So we'll be searching in the beautiful villages around the market town of Bridport. And I'm meeting up with both our buyers on Dorset soil to get better acquainted. Welcome to Dorset.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a very beautiful spot I've brought you to, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Is this what you're looking for as a change from Epsom?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, life in the country.
So tell me about the house. What's your sort of dream house within budgetary constraints?
Anything between 2 to 4 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms and study.
I think 3 bedrooms is the minimum.
And with a garden, somewhere to perhaps have a few chickens to run around and grow a few vegetables.
So what is your budget?
Well, it's realistically between 325 and 375. We would be prepared to take on a project, providing it was towards the lower end of the budget rather than the higher end.
And in terms of your house sale in Epsom, how's that going?
We've just accepted an offer yesterday, which we're very, very pleased with.
So it's all systems go?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm buying into this dream, but you have to buy into the houses that we've selected for you.
Hopefully.
We've got 3 corkers,
Super.
so I just hope that they fit the bill.
Well, we'll soon find out.
You will, very soon. Follow me. For a maximum budget of £375,000, Peter and Denise are downsizing and looking for a character home that has at least 3 bedrooms. They'd consider a small project that involves minor refurbishment and are after a decent-sized garden in which to grow vegetables and possibly to keep chickens. And lastly, they want to be within easy reach of the enticing southern coast. We've got a variety of great Dorset homes to show our buyers, but of course the price will be a guessing game until the end of the tour. And lastly, there's our mystery property, set in a 350-acre plot. And yes, I did say 350 acres. So with Peter and Denise's house under offer, we better get started. Our first destination is in the remote hamlet of Hillfield. With their hankering after traditional country life, let's find out what Denise and Peter make of our first house in the thick of lush Dorset countryside. OK, house number 1. Here we are. Really, we wanted to show you something that was, well, the absolute opposite to the hustle and bustle of Epsom.
You've certainly done that.
It's amazing. We're in a beautiful, beautiful area.
You hear just the bird song?
I
No
can.
traffic.
It's so tranquil and absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
Yes.
What are your thoughts about the style and the look from the outside?
Looks quite a period cottage.
It is. It comes from the end of the 19th century, farm workers' cottages, and it's attached. So that is your neighbour.
Okay.
That's fine. That's not a problem.
Excited to look inside?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Let's have a look. Built in 1889, this semi-detached Victorian cottage has been gradually extended over the years and has a deceptively large ground floor footprint with 3 reception rooms. So this is the front room, straight off that little sunroom porch. And you can see the bones of the house here, this lovely original flagstones.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What a lovely, charming room. I love the wide window. So obviously that denotes the thickness of the wall, doesn't it?
Exactly. So they were well built,
Fantastic.
these Victorian cottages.
I do love the floor. Absolutely adore the floor. It's quite a decent sized room.
Do you feel that it could be homely?
Yeah, I like it, what I see so far.
Good. Very good. Let's go and have a look at the kitchen. So the house proceeds with these rooms. You've got a little dining room there at the foot of the stairs, and then this is the old kitchen.
This is charming.
Yeah, very
This
very,
is really
very
sweet.
nice.
Yeah, I like this.
So you've got the front room, which is sort of south facing, so that gets a lot of the sunshine, and the dining room and the kitchen. But you've also through here got a very nice study.
Oh, this is a surprise.
This is very nice.
But again, the nice quarry tiles on the floor, and lots of lovely light, and doors out onto the garden there.
It's a very usable space.
Yes, you could make it into a nice snug.
Yeah. Yeah, that would work.
Things seem to be going well for the ground floor, which also benefits from a shower room that doubles up as the utility. Now we've completed our tour downstairs, we're going to make our way up to the first floor. There's a family bathroom and 3 bedrooms on offer. To the front of the property lies the smallest bedroom, next to a larger double with glorious unspoilt views. And then this is the master.
Oh, this is nice space.
So no storage, no? Okay.
Yes, you need to think about your storage. You might want to kind of appropriate one of your guest rooms as a
Yes.
sort of dressing
Possibly,
room.
yes.
but it's nicely
Yeah,
decorated.
nice colour scheme.
Nice outlook.
Yeah.
The thing about all of the rooms up here are the views. You've got killer views.
Fabulous, yes.
over these. Well, I can let you explore the rest of the house in your own good time, but I'm going to show you the garden
Okay.
and ask you about the price.
Okay.
So follow me. As we make our way outside, it gives Peter and Denise another chance to take in this charming cottage. Off the study, a paved patio leads onto a delightful long and level lawned garden, featuring ready established vegetable plots and plenty of room for chickens. I mean, in terms of the garden, is this a sort of the size that you're looking
lovely.
for?
That's
yeah. It's,
very, very acceptable.
Yeah, it's a really nice. It's a really nice property.
Okay, well, what do you think it's on the market for?
I would hazard a guess about 320.
I'd say about 315.
315. Well, this is actually on the market for 340.
Oh, okay.
That's the market price at the moment.
Yeah.
Well within budget and all modernised and ready to go, the first property is on the market for £340,000 and presents a late 19th century semi-detached cottage. It comes with 3 reception rooms, a kitchen breakfast room, 3 bedrooms and a large garden that is enveloped by an exceptionally green and pleasant Dorset land. Apart from the farmer in his field, it's just so tranquil here. A little too remote for them, perhaps. Hello, guys, you're done?
We are?
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, shut the door, because we're done too.
Okay.
That's your house tour finished.
Thank you.
Follow me. In 2002, we were in this same glorious spot helping Londoners Chris and Sue find their dream West Country escape.
It's the first opportunity I've seen. You know, the other house and this house is somewhere suitable for painting.
Half a century of the city commute had taken its toll, and Chris in particular was longing to sit on a cliff somewhere to draw real land and seascapes, rather than painting from photos. And although we didn't find them their ideal country abode, the experience was the catalyst that completely changed their lives, for they are now fully fledged Dorset residents. What's more, Chris's amateur pastime has evolved into his profession, and he and his wife run a gallery in Bridport, which is where I met up with them both. Chris and Sue, it is such an honour to meet you because you predate me. You were on the show before I existed as far as Escape to the Country was concerned.
We were.
So we're surrounded by your art. This is all your beautiful art on the wall, Chris. Are these all
Very kind
yours?
of you, thank you. Yes, they are.
See, you got a
yes.
sign. They're all very different styles.
Mostly they're local views, purely because I've got this commercial background and I want to tap in on that, really, I suppose.
Well, if you imagine what it would be like to move down and open up a little gallery, this is kind of how you imagine it. Has there been any regrets? Have you kind of missed London? Do you...
No, we've been back twice.
Twice?
Twice in 5 years.
We still get a buzz, but it's nice to come home. And it was home. As soon as we moved here, it was home.
I want to experience more of the inspiring Dorset environment that is now home to Chris and Sue 24/7. So, leaving Sue behind to look after the gallery, and armed with sketch pads and pencils, we're off for a mini art class at nearby Charmouth Beach, which has one of the best vantage points of the hill and cliff at Golden Cap. And at this moment, I can't think of anywhere else I'd rather be. I'm liking what you're doing, but I shouldn't copy you. I should just draw what I see. It's interesting because you're much less fearless about putting in all the details.
But it's all there. You can tell where it is. But I think it's brilliant. Well done.
Thank you. So, I mean, I can understand why you'd want to make this your life as opposed to the rat race of London.
Yes.
Any regrets?
Other than I should have, or we should have done it a lot sooner.
It's a pretty good regret. After savouring some of the more relaxing elements of Chris's daily life here in Dorset, I'm definitely sold. Now back to the house hunt, and we're venturing out west to Broad Windsor, which lies just over 6 miles north of Bridport. We find our second property on the edge of the village. This used to be the toll house for the road in and out of the village. And you can see it's the whole property. It's a long house, and it's actually extended in two chunks, once in the 60s and once in the 90s.
Yeah.
But it's built of the local stone, the sort of Jurassic limestone that you get in these parts.
Looks very, very, very
Interesting.
interesting. And yeah.
How do you feel about the concept of taking on a historic property that you'd have to do something to?
Is it grade listed at all?
No, it's not.
Fine. Well, that's obviously keeping it in character with the village, but modernising it is not a problem.
Let's look inside.
Okay.
Dating back to the 1800s, this historic detached property is abundant with character. And for our buyers who would be up for some minor improvements, this could be just the ticket. We're entering the property through a generous study and straight into the sitting room.
Wow.
Nice surprise?
Yeah. This is really, really nice.
Really old school.
Lovely and wide.
Yeah.
You know, proportions are really, really good. Yeah.
You've got a chimney breast there that you could open up and put in a log burner or even a real fire.
Yeah.
So where the first house, I think, was finished to a very high standard, clearly the people who've done it and come in and brought in a lot of... This, I think, is more of a sort of open book that you could
Yeah.
write your story in.
Absolutely.
Very, very interesting. I don't think we'd have ever considered anything quite like this and quite as old as this, perhaps. I would like to see more.
And we go through here, it takes us to the dining room.
Lovely.
To slightly dip my head to go through there, but not too low.
It's a small room, but it's quite, again, the proportions, the widths, obviously the width of the house, and
Well, it's bright because you've got 3 windows.
double aspect, which is great.
Light coming in all the time.
But of course the kitchen's key. Let's have a look there.
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
This is the last edition, so this was put on in the 1990s
Okay.
to make a kitchen room.
Really nice space. Yeah, I could see me cooking in here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could.
the tiles go really well with the age of the property, sort of, slate looking.
In terms of the actual kind of layout of the light and the space, it could work.
Yes, it could, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I like this. I really, really like this, yeah.
Good. I'm glad that you can see, because I think this is definitely one where you need to engage your house imagination.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's have a look upstairs. You've got 3 bedrooms here, which I think is good.
You lead the way.
Served by a spacious family bathroom, the 3 bedrooms upstairs are arranged over the entire ground floor footprint, and so are all great-sized rooms. Come on in. So this is actually not the biggest room, but perhaps the brightest. It's above the kitchen, so at the modern end of the house.
It's nice, it's triple aspect, nice and light and airy.
Even with small windows, you've still got quite a decent amount of light.
Yeah. In terms of, I'll let you explore upstairs a little more, but first let's have a peek outside, because you do have a river.
Do we? That sounds...
Okay.
We're going to weave our way back through the property to the gardens at the rear and the side of the house, that are mainly laid to lawn, backing onto meadows and featuring a lovely little stream. I might have slightly oversold it as a river.
Yes, very narrow.
But a brook, perhaps.
Yeah. Very quaint.
It's very sweet.
You can see from the back of the house, you can see the age of the different extensions a bit more clearly. The old house at the front, the modern extension right at the back. What do you think of the garden?
It's a manageable size.
It's one way of putting it.
Divided by the delightful stream, brook.
So what do you think it's on the market for?
I think 330.
I think, given the location and the size and the quaintness of it, I think it'll probably be more than that. I think it'd be about 350, 355.
Okay, so you're dead on the money. It's on at 350, but the owner has been very frank and said that she's aware that there's some work that needs doing and that she would take sensible offers.
It would need a bit of money spent on it. Yeah, it needs a little bit of modernisation.
With a guide price of £350,000, Property 2 is a former toll house made of local limestone that lies within a charming village. The accommodation lends itself to 3 reception rooms, a kitchen breakfast room and 3 bedrooms. And the garden is rather special, being that a river runs right through it. Good. So we're all done in Broad Windsor.
Okay.
Ready for the mystery house?
I am indeed.
Yes.
With me.
Yes.
Throwing our suburbanites into the rural deep didn't quite pan out as I hoped, even with that beautiful river.
But you may still sort it out with the mystery house. Fingers crossed. Well, before we get to that, time now to meet our second couple. And when it comes to cash, well, these two had plenty to splash around.
When Mark and Michelle bought their 5-bedroom 1930s home in Henley 10 years ago, it was virtually a wreck. But Mark, who is quite a handyman, gutted and completely renovated the place. Since they met in 2002, they've been busy with demanding careers. Michelle in telecommunications and Mark in the aviation industry. But recently they decided to put work on hold to look for a new, more balanced way of life in the country.
I mean, we love Henley, so we love the house, we love Henley. What we wanted, though, is somewhere where we could start a business together. And just looking around this area, it's just really difficult to do that, to get the land we're looking for.
They know they want to begin a business together in Dorset, but they're not entirely sure what it will be. And they're hoping the properties we show them might spark some ideas.
I'm really open. I just want something to come along that's going to grab hold of me. I want a property that's, just going to give me an opportunity. Maybe it's got holiday lets currently. I've always had an idea of doing some really high-end luxury, even with their own little swimming pools, make a place for people to come to.
But what's the budget for a property with business potential in rural Dorset?
So the budget is up to a maximum of 1.5 million, and then really depending on if it's absolutely perfect, doesn't need any work on it, the 1.5. If actually we would look at something a lot less than that, if it had massive potential and we can use some of the capital to actually do the property up.
Mark and Michelle particularly like Dorchester and the countryside around it, so we're focusing our search within 30 miles of the town. I'm catching up with them by Dorset's scenic coast to learn some more about what they're hoping to find.
Hello, Michelle.
Hi.
Hello, Mark. Nice to see you.
I see you.
On a gorgeous Dorset morning. Look at that.
It's fantastic, isn't it? Yeah.
If you want a coastal view, they don't get much better than this one. Well, let's talk about this ambition. And we can't, I suppose, go much further without talking about the budget, which is a very, very handsome £1.5 million. But for all that, you yourselves don't want a massive house, do you?
No, that's it. We don't want... I mean, it's just the two of us and our dog Chester, so we don't need a house to rattle around in. It's really a property with a business, so whether it's an existing business or just, opportunities outbuilding, some way we can really add some value and we can actually start something together.
So leaving the business element to one side, give us an idea, Michelle, of the sort of property that would suit the pair of you and the dog,
Yeah,
Chester.
the dog, yes. So, I mean, ideally, probably about 4 bedrooms, something like that.
Yeah.
We sort of like big kitchens, so I do a lot of cooking, so really nice sort of farmhouse type kitchen would be great.
Obviously, the quainter the property is, Dorset's full of beautiful thatched cottages and sea views, obviously. So if some of that was involved, that would be really good. Yeah.
Well, we've got 3 properties which I hope will tempt you, and who knows, maybe one of them could be your new dream home.
That'd be fantastic.
Let's go spend some money, shall we?
Sounds good.
With a very healthy budget of £1.5 million, Mark and Michelle are looking for a 4-bedroom period property with business potential. They're interested in holiday lets, but are very open to suggestions and like the idea of an outbuilding that could provide the foundation from which to create some kind of cottage industry. They'd also like a decent-sized plot to give their dog Chester plenty of room to play in. We've found 3 very different Dorset homes for them to look at, and each of them has business potential. One will be our mystery house, which is such a rare piece of real estate, it's unlikely our buyers will have seen anything of its kind before. We're beginning our search in Whitchurch Canonicorum, 20 miles west of Dorchester and just a mile from the coast. Just a few minutes' walk from the centre of the village on a quiet road is our first offering. This is property number 1, and I think it really kind of sets the scene in terms of your classic Dorset home.
Definitely. Looks lovely, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's gorgeous, yeah. Fantastic front door.
Beautiful front door. Now, the thing to point out is that that bit is just the owner's accommodation.
Okay.
Because this has a huge holiday complex that way. We'll deal with the home bit first. And then we'll deal with the business.
Yep.
And then we'll talk about how much it might cost you.
Come
on then.
This 4-bedroom Grade 2 listed stone farmhouse dates back to the 16th century and has plenty of period charm.
Let's start at this end. Study in there.
Okay.
And then this is your principal living room.
Okay. It's nice. It's got some good character because of the beams, isn't it? It's quite cosy, isn't it?
It's very cosy,
whether it'd be big enough for us.
I think it feels a little smaller maybe because of the beam in the middle.
Yeah.
But on the whole, no, it's very quaint and cosy.
Come and have a look at the kitchen space.
Okay.
Let's look at this.
This is a really good size, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely size.
There's an enormous utility room through there.
Okay.
Right.
But this is nicely appointed.
Yeah.
Nice and open plan, as you can see. And it leads out onto the courtyard, which we'll explore a little bit later on.
Sure.
And
Okay.
that's the business end of it.
Okay.
Is it your sort of style?
I like the fact that it's quite open plan. So you've got your sort of open plan area, but you've got a nice sort of kitchen table as well.
Well, let's have a look upstairs quickly at your accommodation, and then we'll deal with the business end of it through there.
Perfect.
Also on the ground floor adjoining the kitchen is a cosy snug that could be converted into a formal dining room. And next to that is another characterful reception room with a beautiful Inglenook fireplace. Upstairs there are 4 double bedrooms, one of which has a walk-in wardrobe and an ensuite. There's also a family bathroom.
Well, this is perhaps one of the lightest rooms at the moment of the 4 to choose from. This isn't currently the master, but it could be if you wanted it to be, because there is the bathroom next door.
Okay.
Yeah, nice feel to it. I like the scale ceilings. We have that in our current house, so
Yeah.
it's something we like.
So this really, I suppose, completes the picture for what you get as the owners.
Yes, exactly.
Just about right for us, I think. Yeah.
Good. A few cosmetic changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nothing that a man like you can
Absolutely,
do.
everybody wants to put their own touch
You've done it all before anyway, haven't you?
Yes.
I'm not certain the style of the interior is exactly to Mark and Michelle's tastes, but I'm thinking it's probably the business potential that's going to be the main deciding factor for our buyers when it comes to choosing a property. So, I'm interested to hear their reactions to what this place has to offer.
So, here we are, the main event.
Okay.
This whole complex contains 8 separate holiday lets.
Okay.
They're currently turning over just under 100,000 a year,
Okay.
Turnover.
of which about 50 is profit.
Okay.
Sure.
They have a lot of return customers, 25%
Return bill.
are returned. So that means that you walk into an existing business with people already booked in.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's plenty of goodwill there already.
Absolutely, yeah.
The courtyard's nice, isn't it?
The courtyard's
Yeah.
very nice.
So we've got 8 to choose from. Let's have a look at the biggest one, which is that one.
Okay.
These brick and stone holiday cottages are currently operating at a 40% occupancy and were originally the farmhouse stables.
Now it's going to be very interesting to learn how this compares with the market that you're going for.
Yeah, I mean, I think the space seems quite good. I like that wall, the fact you've got that natural part of it. I think we would probably, we would do quite a bit of renovation, I think. It's got that potential, isn't it, which is
It
great.
has, and that's what we've
Yeah.
asked for, so the potential is here, I think.
Yeah.
Also included in this holiday let package, in what was originally the farmhouse barn, is a games room and a superb indoor heated pool. Outside, there are more than 2.5 acres of land that includes a pond and a paddock.
Well, this is a view we haven't seen before. This is the back of your bit, the owner's accommodation, which in itself is the sort of beautiful property we would happily sell on its own.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's quite a lot with this one. What do we think it's worth then?
Oh,
Difficult.
probably 1.35, something like that.
I think there's a little bit of maintenance work to do here. I'm going to go a bit lower, and I think about 1.25.
Well, as we're in the world of decimals, you're 100 grand apart, but this could be yours for 1.3.
So it's split either side.
You straddled it nicely.
Okay.
Under budget at £1.3 million, this period property offers a ready-made holiday let business with 8 cottages that can accommodate up to 36 guests, a games room and an indoor pool. The house itself has 3 reception rooms and 4 bedrooms, and outside there's more than 2.5 acres of land.
Oh, squeaky door. How'd you go?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I think that was quite an impressive start, really.
Yeah.
It's a business all ready to go. It's a beautiful house.
Yeah.
And it's more or less where you want to be.
I think so, yeah.
Have we spent any money yet?
Well, we've got 2 more to see yet.
We have indeed.
Lovely.
Fishing has been a way of life for generations of Dorset families, but over the years the growing decline in fish stocks has put both this age-old local industry and the coastal ecosystem under threat. Finding a way to reconcile the needs of both the environment and the fisheries has long been fraught with conflict and frustration. But in Lyme Bay, a dedicated group is approaching this sensitive issue with a groundbreaking scheme that facilitates dialogue between concerned parties to reach solutions through collaboration rather than confrontation. The organisation is known as the Lyme Bay Working Group, and I'm here to meet its project manager, Neville Copperthwaite.
We've come in more or less as mediators, really. We've developed a model where all the stakeholders, all the fishermen, the conservationists, but also the scientists have got together to manage the area in a better, more sustainable way.
How have you managed to persuade the fishermen here that this scheme is worth getting involved in?
As much as anybody else, they want to be able to fish in the future, and they want their children to be able to fish and their grandchildren. So they've entered into a code of conduct. Basically, it's about gear limitation, not putting too many pots down, too many nets. So, for instance, they can only fish with 250 pots per boat, only 4,000 yards of net, and numerous other things.
This code of conduct is voluntary and is regulated by the fishermen themselves, which is what makes this project the first of its kind. With input from scientists and conservationists, they manage the waters they fish in a responsible, sustainable way. Another of the group's initiatives is the investment in equipment to be set up on the cob that will ensure the fishermen deliver only premium fish. Quality versus quantity is very much at the core of the organisation's aims.
We would like the fishermen to catch less but earn more.
Is that really possible though?
It is possible. What we're doing to achieve that is we're going to install ice making facilities inside these sheds, so that then the fishermen can get a real good quality product into the shops.
Neville and his team have been overwhelmed by the response they've received. After some robust resistance when they first proposed the idea almost 2 years ago, they now have 98% of the bay's fishermen on board, and Alex Jones is one of them.
Do you think this project is going to work, that you might be able to fish less, yet still maintain a decent standard of living in an economically viable business?
Well, this is the plan. We believe we can get up to 30% more on the fish markets for our fish. The fact that if you buy our fish, you know it's probably caught in one of the most sustainable fisheries in the UK.
But for the fishing community here, there must be some optimism.
Yeah, I mean, fishing industry's got to evolve and move forward with the times, and I think this is just one way we can do that. And I don't think any fisherman's going to be unhappy if they're getting more money for their fish. So let's just see if we can get it to work. I think we can.
Already receiving attention from abroad, the innovative scheme instigated here in this quiet Dorset Bay may well provide the blueprint for sustainable fishing all over the world. Our search takes us further inland to the village of Hazelbury Bryan, 16 miles north of Dorchester. Just down the road is our second property, which doesn't come with a business but does have 8 acres of land, offering a blank canvas from which Mark and Michelle can create a completely new venture of their own.
Now, this is a very different proposition to property number 1. There we showed you an existing business, very much in the mode of what you've been thinking about with the holiday lets and so on.
Yeah.
But maybe, I'm wondering, it was too defined. So with this one, we are trying something a bit different. It's very much about a home with land and potential to go with it.
Okay.
But what do we think of that?
Oh, I mean, it looks lovely. So, it's the fact you've got the combination of the thatch and non-thatch, this part of the house, it looks really, really quaint, doesn't it? Very, very pretty.
Yeah, it's very impressive. From here, it's certainly very impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a look inside.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it.
This good-looking thatched farmhouse dates back to the 16th century and incorporates a more recently built weatherboard and tile extension, which is where we're starting the tour.
This, I think you will enjoy.
Oh, I like this, yeah.
Oh, this is magnificent. Yeah, loads of space.
It's open plan, isn't it? But the fact is the kitchen's bigger, but nice area where you can either put a table or sofas and...
It's a good start, isn't it?
It's a good start,
It's a very good start, yeah.
That's why we came in here first.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Come with me.
Okay.
Back across the entrance hall to the original part of the property is an appealing family room.
The owners are currently sort of moving out.
Yeah.
So there's loads of space to appreciate with this one.
Yeah, this is nice. Oh, this is lovely, isn't it?
Isn't it? Bread oven in
It's a
there.
bread oven,
Yeah. Nicely lit.
Yeah.
So you've got this as a very big family room.
Yeah.
And then it goes through to this area, which is much cosier.
Yeah.
More of a snug, I suppose, but still pretty imposing.
Oh, this is
Look at that.
lovely as well.
So this would probably be the main lounge.
Yeah. I like the sort of
vaulted
double...
ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. That's really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, double height.
I get the feeling this is more exciting than our first property, as it were.
Yeah, I think from a property perspective, definitely. So it just feels a bit more us, I think.
Yeah, more as us as a home, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Right, let's have a look upstairs.
Okay.
Also downstairs in this older half of the house, there's a double aspect study. Upstairs, there are 2 family bathrooms, one on the first floor and one above in the attic. There are 4 light-filled bedrooms, 3 are doubles, and 1 is a single.
Now, this is the one that's currently being used as the master.
Okay.
Okay. It does have an ensuite, but it's only the loo and a wash hand basin.
Oh, okay.
But it is big enough, I suspect, for you to get a shower. In a way, I think many of these rooms are sort of interchangeable.
Yeah.
As to which one you would pick for yourselves.
Okay. Well, I mean, again, it's just beautiful to see all the beams and, again, really spacious, really light.
Yeah, there's a really nice, cosy feel to the house, I think.
Good. So that's the main house, more or less.
Okay.
But we have got these 8 acres. What's this business going to contain? What's it going to look like? What are you going to do with it all? Let's go and have a look.
I'm really pleased they've responded so well to the house. The big question now is whether they can see some business potential in the land outside.
What you can see here, double it over that hedge, and that's pretty much your 8 acres. And of course, that is our lovely home.
Yeah.
You said give us something to think about.
Yeah,
it certainly is something to think about. I think there's plenty of scope there. There's some outbuildings, so we'd have to really have a good think about what
the outbuildings
what we could do
are
there.
interesting. Who's going to go first then? Who's going to guess the price?
I'm not going first on this one. Mark can go first on this one.
Oh, I'm finding this one really difficult because it's a lovely, lovely house. I'm going to go probably 950, I think.
I'm going to say 1 million.
This is on the market at 975.
Wow, that's not bad.
£1,000.
Yeah.
Now, I don't often get to say this on Escape to the Country, but that has brought you in under budget by a cool £525,000.
You can do a lot with that. You can do a lot with that.
Considerably under budget at £975,000, this beautifully renovated thatched home has a large kitchen diner, 2 reception rooms and 4 bedrooms. It doesn't have an existing business, but with 8 acres and that large Dutch barn, there's masses of potential to create one, and plenty of money left in the budget to do it.
Well, what a fascinating time we've had.
It's been a very good day.
You wanted lots of options. You wanted us to challenge and test you. We've given you 2 very different proposals, haven't we?
Yeah.
Most definitely, yes.
But there is one more to come.
Mystery house.
Tomorrow morning.
Can't wait.
Well, you knocked £500,000 off their asking price.
Just like that.
Do you get a commission for saving the money?
I think we should think about it in the future, definitely. But they're going to need plenty of cash left over if they're going to realise, well, any one of their business ideas.
Indeed. OK, going back to Peter and Denise, they're looking for their dream home in Dorset. They've got a top budget of £375,000, remember?
Yeah.
But I get the impression that Peter, he's not that keen on doing a project.
Not really a DIYer.
Well, he was, but I think he's like, oh, no more.
Yeah.
So, but they are looking for space and character, and the Mystery House had those in spades. The Mystery House is our final stop, and we've headed even further west, out of Dorset to the village of Rowsden in eastern Devon. The property's just a stone's throw away from the stunning Jurassic coastline and can be found at the end of a rather grand tree-lined driveway. Well, this is quite a mystery house.
Yes, very much so.
It's completely...
We are supposed to be
jaw-dropping.
downsizing, you know that, don't you?
I'm sorry to break it to you, but it's not all yours. This is the Rowsden Estate, and this is an extraordinary building that was built in the sort of mid-19th century by Sir Henry Peake, who was a sort of spice merchant who then went on to make famous biscuits. So the whole 350-acre site is now essentially a sort of private community of which you could be part.
As long as I don't have to mow the lawns.
No, you don't.
This is mystery with a big M.
It is mystery, and you know, I've never been here before, and I think it's just a stunning bit of architecture and a very interesting story.
Lead on.
Yeah.
Follow me. The Grade 2 listed Rowsden Estate comprises of numerous converted buildings, including cottages, farmhouses, as well as a chapel, and the section we've selected for Peter and Denise is a mews house located in the courtyard.
It's amazing.
This was all the stable block, so the horses and carriages would come under the clock tower into the cobbled yard, and then these were all various sort of like professions to do with looking after the horses. And your house is part of it, not all of it. It goes from this gable here, so this right-hand door, across to this door here. So it's the central section of the courtyard in front of us.
Wow.
It's quite an impressive building, that.
It's terrific.
Shall we have a look inside?
Shall we? Yeah.
Shall we?
Follow me.
Can't wait.
Let's go.
Part of a ready-made community, the stable courtyard has been carved into 10 properties.
but each one has its own individual design. Come on in. You want to close the door behind you, Peter? If you come over here, you get the full view of the dining kitchen. So this is the first one where we've given you both the dining room and the kitchen in one space.
I like this, yeah.
Oh, this is really nice. Great kitchen dining room. So what we're looking at the moment is approximately half of the ground floor?
Yes, this is the lion's share of the ground floor.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a massive property, but I think very well laid out.
It's fabulous, certainly is.
Let's have a look at the next room. Come on through a nice big wide walkway and step down into this area.
I like this.
Do you?
Yeah.
I do.
So lovely oak floors.
Yeah.
A slightly smaller space, but is this
big
adequate?
enough. It's big enough.
No, the proportions are great. Like it. Like it a lot.
There's some storage in there. The boiler is actually in there.
Okay.
Under the stairs, you've got a shower and toilet. So it's a very efficient use of the space. And what about the idea of the stairs coming down into the sitting room?
That doesn't worry me in the slightest.
It just adds to the charm and,
Yeah.
and it is a bit of a feature within the house.
Should we go up them?
Ooh, yes, please.
Absolutely.
So another step into the master bedroom.
Wow, this is amazing. Oh, I like it.
Well, this is really big. This is very deceptive. Storage area there, one assumes, a wardrobe.
No, this is an ensuite.
Oh, even better.
Shower room, toilet. And then you've got two very nice guest rooms, both doubles, and a family bathroom at the end of the hall.
This is wonderful.
Yeah. This works. Really nice. Really nice.
It's got a nice feel to it. It has that slight sort of feel of the sort of Victorian, big high ceilings, lots of light. So I'm getting a good feel from this house.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
Shall we have to take a look at your outside space, because you do get garden as well, and maybe talk about money?
Fantastic, yeah. Okay.
Both Denise and Peter are clearly bowled over by this striking news property so far, and I've no doubt that the large, low-maintenance garden won't disappoint. Obviously, this is your garden.
Yes.
But clearly, you've got to be quite friendly with your neighbours, one on each side. But you have, as a resident of the estate, access to the 350 acres, so you can, walk around those at your leisure, including two pathways which take you straight down to the beach.
Incredible.
So you can walk to the beach.
Oh, yeah. That sounds good to me. That
That's
sounds
pretty
fantastic.
amazing, isn't
I
it?
didn't even realise we were that close.
Yeah. So what do you think it's on the market for?
370?
I'd be amazed if it's less than 400, 420.
Peter, you think we were very mean showing your property so above your budget. This is actually right on your budget. It's on at £375,000.
That's incredible. That's amazing.
So you could have your slice of the Rousden estate.
That's really surprising.
Yeah.
With a guide price of £375,000, the mystery property is a spacious mews house that makes up part of an exclusive 350-acre estate. A high-quality two-storey conversion, it features a large kitchen diner, open-plan sitting room, as well as 3 good-sized bedrooms, including an ensuite master. But I think it's safe to say that both our buyers are quite taken with this unique proposition. With the tours complete, I'm catching up with Peter and Denise to find out what they think about our properties. Well, I've shown you all the houses, and I have a very strong feeling that the mystery house is in the lead. The other two houses, not so much. Is that right?
The mystery house is a real contender, yes, you're right.
I didn't particularly warm to either of the first two houses for various reasons. The remoteness of the first house, and it was obviously a semi-detached, and the second house needed a lot of work doing to it, and that would have entailed renting and complete renovation while that was being done, so it would have been a lot of pressure.
You're in a very good position because you've got an offer on your house in Epsom.
We have. Mm-hmm.
But do you think about making a move on the mystery house? What are your thoughts about it?
We are going to talk about it tonight and weigh up all of the good points and the not so good points, and discuss our future.
you can choose where you live, but you can't choose your neighbours.
Very true.
But I mean, the concept is totally different to what we were expecting, and it really has sent my head into a total spin. So it does need an awful lot of consideration before we commit to that sort of thing.
Yeah, we did parachute you into a completely different concept of living.
You certainly did.
Oh, but it was well worth it because it helped us appreciate what we want and what we don't want.
And so on the positive side, what has it sort of like clarified for you that you do want?
It's absolutely confirmed what we first thought, that we just loved Dorset, stroke, East Devon, and it is definitely going to be the place where we want to live.
Do let us know what you decide and what happens with your house.
Of course.
Thank you very much for your help.
Thank you.
Cheers.
So you really did save the best till last.
It was a corker. I'm not going to tell you whether they went for it. I'll let you know later on. How about your couple?
Wow, Mark and Michelle, let's not forget, they had £1.5 million to spend. So could our mystery house relieve them of some, if not all, of their hard-earned cash? Well,
would it have tempted you?
It most certainly did tempt me. In fact, it tempted all of us. Our final offering was arguably, for me, one of the best properties we've ever had on the show.
The final stop on our search takes us half an hour's drive south to Kingston Moorwood, just east of Dorchester, in the heart of Thomas Hardy country. Our mystery house is set amidst 35 acres of beautiful parkland owned by Kingston Moorwood Agricultural College. With this place, seeing is believing.
Right, keep looking down, keep looking down, keep looking down, and now look up.
Are you being serious?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
The whole thing?
The whole thing.
Oh my lord.
It's one of the most perfect examples of an E-plan Elizabethan manor, certainly in the region. We're thinking high-end, residential, dare I say it, B&B.
Yeah,
I know you haven't really gone for the whole B&B idea,
Yeah.
but it's with a twist.
Yeah.
Because as a destination venue,
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it?
it's
Oh, it is,
astonishing.
yeah. Oh, yes. It's certainly a mystery house, that's for sure. Do you know what, Jules? I have not been so excited to go inside a property for such a long, long time.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Come on.
Built in the 1590s, this Grade 1 listed manor house was close to being demolished in the early 1960s, but thankfully new owners stepped in and saved the then derelict building with a huge 8-year restoration project.
Oh my goodness.
Quite a hallway,
Yeah.
as you can see.
It is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Obviously the staircase
Yeah.
is one of them, the door surrounds,
doorway.
all kinds of periods
Look at
going
those
on
door
here.
surrounds.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not door surrounds, they're castle entrances.
Well, let's make use of them. Let's go through this one,
Okay.
into the drawing room.
Oh, this is fantastic, isn't it? It's just amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
Your eyes just can't take in all the detail. It's incredible.
You remember I mentioned to you this E-plan that
Yeah.
the building
Yeah.
conforms to?
Yeah.
Part of the E goes around that corner there as a wing.
Oh, okay.
This is a house that has genuine wings, which is terrific.
Yeah.
Well, this is a room that your guests could make use of.
Yeah.
Because that way, there is another room equally as big, equally as beautiful, and that's the library. And it's separated by a very modest kitchen, actually.
Okay.
But you could have the library for yourselves on the ground floor. This could be for your guests. And you could feed them in the dining room through here. Have a look at this.
Crossing back over the central hall, we enter the northern wing, which in Elizabethan times was occupied by the Great Kitchen.
There.
Do you think this is big enough?
I think it would work, wouldn't it?
This is, oh my lord, look at that. That's lovely.
Again, this E-plan. So,
Yeah.
the room stretches off that way as a little sort of finger. We are moving on from the first property where we had very separate accommodation and self-catering accommodation, obviously to something which is much more involved as far as you're concerned, because you're living with your guests.
We asked to be challenged, and you're challenging us, I think, in terms of our thinking. But I can see real potential here.
Well, wait till you see the accommodation upstairs.
Okay.
Have a look at this.
Since the current owners bought the manor in 1998, they've been running it as a 5-star B&B with an annual turnover of £40,000. All of the guest accommodation is upstairs on the first floor off the galleried landing. We're taking a look at the north wing, which is directly above the dining room we've just seen.
This is something of a suite, which is rather nice. So your guests have this lovely little lounge area, tea and coffee and all that sort of stuff. And then through here is the bedroom. ensuite through that little door.
Okay.
And quite an impressive suite.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Now, this could be your master bedroom, but there are also 2 further rooms upstairs, which occupy the entire top floor. Okay. So you could separate yourselves completely by occupying that top floor, because it also has its own bathroom.
Okay. So we could run that like a self-contained apartment up there for the owners, and then run this as the business.
In the original E-shaped part of this house, the suite we've just seen in the north wing is mirrored on the other side by a second suite the same size. And in an extension built during the 17th century, there are 3 more bedrooms. All of the rooms are doubles with their own ensuite bathrooms, and they have some wonderful original features, including stone mullion windows and exposed timber beams. Outside, the garden is just over half an acre, which may seem small in relation to such a large house, but it is surrounded by the Agricultural College's expansive parkland, which includes a 5-acre lake. Garden-wise, this is it.
Okay.
But in terms of something that's manageable and that really sets the building off...
That's a good-sized garden, I think.
I think it is,
I think it's a good-sized garden.
So...
Don't ask.
I'm going to ask you. I'm going to make you tell me.
No.
What is our mystery house on the market for?
I really do not have a clue. But I'm going to go over 2 million for this one, and I'm going to say 2.2.
I'm thinking about 1.8.
1.8. It was on the market for close to 1.8. It's now on the market for 1.25.
No.
1.25 million.
I can't believe that.
I'm £1 million under my guess.
Yes.
Below budget at £1,250,000, this extraordinary Elizabethan manor house has a ready-made B&B business, with 3 huge reception rooms on the ground floor and 5 ensuite bedrooms on the first. There's also plenty of space on the second floor that could be Mark and Michelle's accommodation, and it has a peaceful parkland setting.
You know, buildings like this are, for me, what escaping to the country is all about. It certainly spoilt me, and I suspect it's spoilt you too as well, hasn't it?
Oh, it certainly has. It's been amazing.
But have we sold it?
I think there's a lot of consideration to take into account here.
Let's go and consider.
Okay.
This has been quite an interesting process for you, and certainly from my point of view, because you gave us such a broad brief, really. Have we managed to refine it any more over the last few days?
I think you brought us some focus. Yeah, most definitely. I mean, the 3 properties you've shown us are quite diverse.
Yeah, I think it's when you look at them, I think where it's helped us focus is Dorset is still very much an area that we love. So the fact that we've seen different parts of Dorset, I think, just reaffirms that. And I think the property number 2, where you had a home plus an opportunity to start something from scratch, I think it's helped us narrow more into that area rather than an existing holiday letting business that is about just upgrading, because it's had lots of acres. But I think it was more the breathing space it would give us to build a business and not have to get an income from it immediately.
But then with our mystery house, we went for something completely different. An astonishing building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can totally see the business side of that. As a home, we're not so sure about, are we?
It's so far removed from how we live today that, you know, you'd really have to spend more time to figure out whether you could actually live there as a home, I think.
Yeah, I think sometimes that sort of size of budget can give you too much choice, and, you know, actually going on this journey of finding out what it actually is you really want is actually taking us longer than we even thought it was going to ourselves.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming down here. We wish you all the very best of luck, and I'm glad that we've brought a little more focus to this great life-changing plan that you're about to undertake. Good luck.
No, thank you very much. It's been fantastic.
It's been great.
It's not every day that you see a Grade 1 listed B&B. I think if I had £1.5 million, I might have been tempted.
It was absolutely remarkable, not only to have that sort of money to spend, but to find a property like that available was, for me, a real treat. But I think it raises an interesting question. Does the more money you've got to spend make the whole process harder?
Well, Well, I don't know, because I think Peter and Denise, they didn't have such a whopping budget, but they were still really up in the air after the Mystery House, and it made them reconsider their priorities.
I think the lesson that I take away from today, and it's often a cliche we use, but you do need to think outside of the box. Having a look at properties that may not initially tickle your fancy can sometimes open the door on opportunities that could otherwise pass you by.
And giving a rigorous reassessment to your wish list, particularly if you're aiming for a property that's going to be a business as well as a home, that's an absolute must.
So there you are. You can't win them all, but you can join us again on Escape to the Country. We'll see you next time.
See you then.
Mark and Michelle have since decided to move to the Chiltern Hills, not far from their current home in Henley.
And Peter and Denise finally found a house in the village of Catterstock, West Dorset, and they've already settled in.
If you'd like to escape to the country in Scotland, Northern Ireland, England, Wales, or even further afield to the continent and would like our help, then please apply online at bbc.co.uk/Be On A Show.
You're afraid to try again. Don't be afraid of the dirt. Things are right door, the horizon. You don't keep on believing. You go down, keep on running. You go to keep on fighting. It's time to stop the dreaming and forget about the past. About what you believe in, you are supposed to be enough. Don't forget that there is a care down in your heart. I know that you can feel it too. We can make it through that. No matter what the people say, you're strong up on your way. Afraid to try happy. Don't be afraid of the dirt. Things are like gold. The horizon. You don't keep on believing. You go down, keep on running. You go to keep on fighting. It's time to stop the dreaming and forget about the past. About what you believe in, you are supposed to be enough. Don't forget that there is a care down in your heart. I know that you can feel it too. We can make it through that. No matter what the people say, you're gone up on your way. बेटी कहलवा नजरिया लागता रिसियाइन बड़ा हो पुर बेटी निकल बना जरिया लागता ऋषियाइल बड़ा हो ए आदि तुमाल निकल बहरिया तो काहे खिसियाइल बड़ा हो ए आदि तुमाल निकल बहरिया तो काहे खिसियाइल बड़ा हो हर रोज उगेला हंसत मुस्कात हो आज काहे बुझेला नाती माई के बात हो माई के बात हो हर रोज उगेला हंसत मुस्कात हो आज काहे बुझेला नाती माई के बात हो थर थर कापेला शरीरिया बादल में सियाइल बड़ा हो थर थर कापेला शरीरिया बादल में सियाइल बड़ा हो हे आदि तुमाल निकल बहरिया तू काहे खिसियाइल बड़ा हो हे आदि तुमाल निकल बहरिया तू काहे खिसियाइल बड़ा हो हे आदि तुमाल निकल बहरिया काहे खिसियाइल बड़ा लालू सोल्जर पूछता रे आज हो कौन कसूर बाबा बड़ा तू नाराज हो बड़ा तू नाराज हो पीएस लालू सोल्जर पूछता रे आज हो कौन कसूर बाबा बड़ा तू नाराज हो बर्तन के कर तू फिक्रिया भोरे से मिसियाइल बड़ा हो बर्तन के कर तू फिक्रिया भोरे से मिसियाइल बड़ा हो ए आदि तुमाल निकल बहरिया तू काहे खिसियाइल बड़ा हो ए आदि तुमाल निकल बहरिया तू काहे